how presumptuous it is of us to assume that we would know how to handle everything. Oh, how? This is my first time being alive in this body, in this place, at this time, in this breath. Speaking of breath. Hey, I'm Vanessa. I'm an alcoholic. I hope you're into awkward and honest overshares about sobriety and spiritual growth because it's kind of my thing or whatever. This phrase, perhaps we're making too hard a going of life, just keeps resonating in my head right now. I was just remembering that we are so divinely created, right? That we are so special, but that can seem like a really abstract thought, but also logically, realistically, that we are just very uniquely created, right? Like no one else is going to have lived your life. No one to this point has lived your life, nor will anyone ever again. Like we are so infinitely unique in our limited time and experience on this earth. And it's like no wonder why it can be so difficult to navigate experiences that happen to us, right? For better or worse. I think good news and bad news can be equally overwhelming. But I'm an alcoholic, and so I make everything way more difficult than it needs to be. But just understanding that uniqueness of this experience, of the present moments that we have in every second that we have while we're alive, while there's like breath in our lungs, to remember like just how unique it is that we're alive at all, and then how presumptuous it is of us to assume that we would know how to handle everything. Oh, how? This is my first time being alive in this body, in this place, at this time, in this breath. Speaking of breath. So I just feel like sometimes we just make things so difficult, and something that is really helpful. And I think that why people are always so, I try to think about why people think that I'm helping them when I'm just listening. And I think that, and why I get tired of it. And it's because people don't need me to listen. People need to listen to themselves. All of the answers are already within you. And not that I don't want to listen, of course, I always want to. But even times when I'm unable to listen to myself, it's like that's why I kind of go into these moments of seclusion or of just, becoming a hermit, as y'all like to call me. And it's like because I'm contemplating what my existence is. And it doesn't have to be that deep, and it doesn't have to be bad either. But I just like to acknowledge and honor the fact that this is my first time existing in this way, and that it's okay to not know all the answers. And I feel like we take a lot of that for granted. And I feel like when we are asking someone for help, we are asking them to remind us of that. I don't feel like the best, therapy sessions I've had with friends have ever had a determined solution or outcome. It has just been the experience of being witnessed in a way that I had it by another person that I had difficulty witnessing myself because I was so blocked by whatever the current suffering or the current dilemma was of that time. But when someone can just be there and witness me for who I am, and I can be there and witness someone else for who they are without rushing to fix the problem, without rushing to focus on the problem, but to remind them of how beautiful and holy and unique and divinely created they are. Sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. It's just that remembering.